Hi, it's Judy Gaman. Welcome to Fireside Chat with Judy Gaman. I thought I'd do something a little different tonight. And I've asked Brittany Porter to come and sit by the fire with me. And the reason is she's family, so I'm not breaking any of the shelter-in-place rules. And she also has some toddlers, and many of you are struggling with what to do with your toddlers during this time that you need to be at home. So Brittany is going to talk to us a little bit about what she's doing. Now Brittany, one thing I want to start with is you have been one of these moms who's a working mom, you're a two-income family, and you've been thrown into this with kids at home and completely changing up the schedule. I'm curious, do you have a new appreciation for the stay-at-home moms?
Yes, and I kind of already had an appreciation because when I had my son and then I had my daughter, there was that time where I was home with my daughter, but my son was still at school, and when he'd come home, I would be exhausted, and I wasn't sure how these stay-at-home moms did it, and I really gained a whole new respect for them after my second child.
So how are you handling this?
This has been a really hard transition. I was talking to my mother-in-law, who is a stay-at-home mom, and I told her it would have been so much easier had I started from the beginning and set the schedules in the beginning. To be thrown in from working 40 plus hours a week to suddenly home with two kids with no set structure at home, I think that's been the hardest part.
Now, one thing that Brittany did is she watched a Fireside Chat previously where I was talking about my friend Heather, who had done the bounce house inside the house, and what did you do?
I ordered a bounce house. It's a small one. It has to fit in my living room, but it's coming on my son's birthday, which I think will be just a little surprise for him.
So there are a lot of people that are having anniversaries and birthdays and things like that in the middle of this shelter in place. How are you handling it with your 3-year-old's birthday?
So I put a post on Facebook. He loves aquariums. We'd been telling him for months that we were going to take him on a trip to an aquarium, and every day he reminds us, it's almost my birthday, I go to the aquarium. And so we weren't sure how to really handle that, and we've been trying to tell him, people are sick, and he goes, well, then they should stay home. Because he knows
but
he's
not sick,
he
right? He's like, I'm not sick.
Yes. So for all of that to be shut down, that's been hard for him. But I've had a friend that told me to tell him that the fish are sick. So if the fish are sick, then that will click a little bit more, and it did. But I posted on Facebook that I needed help, and I wanted to create a slideshow with photos from fish from across the world and different aquariums, and that has blown up. Over 150 comments and pictures and videos and messages, and I've just been so appreciative of that.
And I shared that as well, and I want to thank all of you who shared all these videos and photos, and we forwarded them on to Brittany, and now she's putting this together, so that's been a huge help. Thank you. So what advice do you have as young couples that are at home? We're empty nesters now, except that now we're not, because one of our last one to go to college is now home. But how is it when you're a young couple, and this is really your first, oh my gosh, we have to live in very short quarters for a long time without going out? How's that working for you?
It's been a little bit difficult, and I think it's been difficult for most people in general that are kind of in our shoes of newly married, just a few younger kids. And we actually had to order a desk to put in our living room to make sure that we can keep eyes on the kids at all times while we're working. So it's been quite an adjustment. Date nights, they're going to be non-existent for a little while, but we try to make it work. When the kids go to sleep, maybe we'll try to watch a movie or a favorite show.
All right, I need to tell our viewers, because this is so cute. I love how everyone's kind of sharing their experiences online. And I saw one picture of Mike sitting at that desk that you're talking about, and Mikey, the grandson, sitting a little desk next to him, kind of mimicking. So it's funny how our kids are going to see us in a different way and kind of emulate what we're teaching them at home.
Yes, and Mikey goes, I go to work too, Daddy. And he grabs his little tablet and he'll take it over there. He'll do puzzles on it. It's absolutely adorable. And I think that in a way we are teaching them a good work ethic at a young age, which is good.
Now, Brittany has a podcast called Radical Wellness, and I will post a link in the notes for those of you who want to listen to the podcast. But tell our listeners a little bit about that podcast, because I feel like listening to the Radical Wellness podcast And also many of you know that I have a podcast called Stay Young America, which is a shoot off from our nationally syndicated radio show. And both of these kind of happen out of executive medicine, Texas. But tell them a little bit more about Radical Wellness.
So Radical Wellness not only focuses on physical health, but it's the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and environmental factors that all play into your overall wellness. And it's geared more towards the millennial population. So we're not going to cover things like hypertension quite as much, but we're going to look at wellness as a whole instead of just your physical health.
Well, this is what I love about the two podcasts, right? Because you capture a different generation.
Yes.
With different issues.
Yes.
And then Dr. Anderson and Dr. Gaman and myself, we cover those things that you mentioned, hypertension, diabetes. Sometimes we go on the realm of relationships and things. But it's kind of different generation. We kind of cover everything between the two of those.
And one thing I love is that we've had some of our guests overlap, but they're completely different shows.
Oh, so true.
We take it to two different spins.
Oh my gosh, like I was thinking about Fran Walfish. So
yes.
Fran Walfish, for those of you who have listened to the show, know who I'm talking about. For those of you who haven't listened to the show, she's really Hollywood's kind of #1 go-to psychologist. She's a regular on the Staying Young show. Mm-hmm. But boy, when she was on your show, it was a whole other side.
Yes, yeah, she's absolutely fantastic. She's amazing. I'm excited. I'm going to have her on again soon, and I'm definitely going to keep bringing her back.
Yeah, great. What else do you want to share kind of with people and young mothers and just people your age about how to handle and how to cope with this situation?
I would say journal. Journal and take care of your mental health itself, because my generation isn't used to being locked in. We're used to being locked in on purpose, right, on our computers, on our tablets, at work. We're not used
by
to
choice.
Forced. Yes, by choice.
Yeah.
We've never had anything like this. We didn't grow up in the Cold War, for instance.
Right.
So just take care of yourself mentally and physically as well. Make sure that you're exercising, going for walks. Make sure you keep that 6-foot distance, obviously. Yeah. But just take care of yourself and journal and just continue pushing through. There is an end.
I want to hear from you. I want to know, what do you think is going to come out of this? What silver linings? The next show I'm going to do is all going to be about silver linings and how, even though in the midst of all of this, there's so much good that's really coming out that we're really getting to see in each other. And Brittany, I want to thank you for coming on.
Now, before we go, I want to tell our viewers why I'm dressed the way I am, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I am trying to tackle the complete stay-at-home mom wardrobe, and I actually ordered this. So yes, it's baggy for a reason. If you look bigger, your child will be a little bit more fearful of you when you tell them no. A mama bear, because I am a mama bear, and you have to make sure your pants have pockets like this, because you need these pockets for snacks. And these snacks are not for your kids, they're for you, because you are going to be thrown into a loop, chasing after them. If you have hardwood floors, no socks, because when you're running across, jumping across furniture, you don't want to slip. When you're choosing your pants, you want to make sure you can bend and you can run in them, and good luck.
I think this is great because I'm so used to Brittany seeing you in your work clothes.
Yes.
So heels and things, so this is kind of fun. This is generally how I see you in sleepwear, but not during the day.
Yeah.
So this is kind of fun. Well, I want to welcome all of you to the next episodes of Silver Linings, where I'm going to be doing soon. I'm also going to be interviewing my husband, Dr. Walter Gaman, and he's going to talk to you also about how to handle stress and some of the medical implications of being in close quarters and things. So lots of good stuff coming up. Want to remind you also, subscribe, like, share. Want to be bringing everyone we can some good. And that's just the way I see it.